Hey everybody, and welcome to another Cricut craft tutorial. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. Be sure you join my Facebook group. We do a lot of fun things in there. It's really fun to get to know you guys. We play some fun games. We show off our crafts. It's awesome. So feel free, click the link below and join. Today we're going to make these really cool floating Christmas ornaments, and I don't know how well you guys can see this, but all it is a plastic ornament from the Dollar Tree, some transparency film, and then some fake fluffy snow. And these are really easy to do, and you can do a lot of really fun things with these. Let's go over to Design Space, and I'm going to show you how you can size the transparency film for your bulb really easily, and then we will make our design.
So one great way to size up what size you need to make your bulb is to measure across your ornament and measure from where you can see on the edge to where you can see on the edge. And I always make a quick template. So this is my template, and what I'm going to do is I duplicate it a couple times. And what you do is you easily just kind of resize it a couple times. And you can do bigger, you can do smaller, whatever you think might be the right size for your ornament. And this is just sort of so you can guess on what is the right size, but it's just an easy way to make a template. Now I've done this, so I know exactly what size it is, but for those who are just starting, this is a great way. So what then I do is I'll take text and I just go 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to change these all to draw because I just want them to draw really quickly on our ornament. I'm going to ungroup them to letters, and I'm just going to place each letter. It doesn't matter where you put it on the ornament. Just throw it somewhere on there. It doesn't have to be centered or anything. And then you're going to select your ornament and your number, and you want to attach them so that when you go to cut them out of the cardstock, it's going to write the number onto your ornament in the size that you want it. So we'll go ahead and attach, and we're going to click on Make It. And I'm going to put this on just a simple 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. And I'm going to show you guys really quick how to do this part so that you can easily size up and figure out what is the right size for your ornament. So we'll hit continue. We're just going to cut this, like I said, on some cardstock. So we'll grab that. I'll get it on the mat, and then I can show you guys what that looks like. And then we can make our floating ornament using the template that fits best with our design.
Because we're going to write on this, we're going to just grab our pen. It doesn't matter what color, just make sure it's dark enough that you can see on whatever color paper you're cutting these on. And I'm just going to pop it in, and we will go ahead and load this. And again, I'm just using some like scrap cardstock that I had just laying around that I have a bunch of and I don't really use a lot. And the nice thing is, like I said, this is going to write the numbers on it, so you'll be able to tell which of your templates is the best fit for your ornament, because we are going to test them inside of our ornament. Now I always make a bigger top piece, like where the little cover for the bulb sits. I always make that way taller than I need to. It makes it easier to pull it back out if you need to, and you can always trim it off once you have put it into the bulb, but it just makes it way easier to access it and get it out of the bulb. So now it's going to cut out our circles, and then we can test fit them into the ornament, which we're using a big one from the Dollar Tree. I already have some fake snow in there from something else I did, but we're going to just reuse this ornament, and I like the fake snow, so we'll keep that in there. And now it's going to cut out all of our bulbs, and once it does that, we'll pop them off, and then we can test fit them. Now that it's cut them out, we're just going to pop them off. Now I know you guys are thinking, oh my gosh, she's using a green mat. Don't worry, this mat is super not sticky anymore. It's kind of an older mat, so it's fine. Now I can already pretty much say that the 3 is way too small. The 1 might fit, and the 4 I think are our biggest options. Now again, I've done this, so I know for sure the 4 fits. But just so you guys can see, let's say we think the 1 is our closest. So I'm going to pop the top off of my ornament. And what I do, and I always call this taco roll. So let me show you guys how to roll this, make it this bulb so it doesn't roll off the table because it keeps wanting to, and I don't want that snow everywhere. So I just do like a taco roll. And I just kind of roll it like that, kind of like a burrito. Of course, this thing rolled and got snow everywhere. And then I just put it into my bulb. Now, the cardstock's going to stay a little bit rollier than like your transparency film, but I can already see this is too big because when I press it, do you see how it still wants to stay curled no matter how much I try to press it flat? It's too big. So easily pull it back out, and that's why we leave the tab so long. If we don't like it, we can just pull it back out. And because it's just cardstock and we don't want to use it again, you can just pull it and rip it. And if it folds a bunch, it's fine, but we know that's the wrong size. So again, I know 4 is right. I'm not going to put that in there, but 4 is the right size. But that's just a quick, easy way to figure out if that's the correct size. So let's go back to Design Space so we can design our floating ornament.
Now that we know that number 4 is our correct size, we can just delete all these other ones. You can delete 1, 2, 3. We need to detach because we don't want this 4 on there anymore. So just go ahead and delete that bad boy. And what we're going to do is use some images from Design Space, I think. We'll see what we can find. So with these floating ornaments, they're really nice. It's a little tough to use words if you aren't going to put like feathers or something behind them. So we're just going to try to find something that's like maybe a Santa Claus face. So let's see what we can find under the word Santa. And we'll just find like a simple, easy peasy Santa. You could do these in color if you want. I kind of like the black look of them, so I will probably just do like a black one. And I like this one, so let's use this. So we'll insert our image. It's obviously way too big. But I'm going to go ahead and make it fit into our bulb. And I do want it to take up quite a bit of space in our bulb, and maybe I want it to look a little bit more like he's flying. So we're just going to make him a little bit bigger and turn him just a little bit. And I think that looks pretty good. Now, you'll note that I did leave some space at the bottom, and I did that to allow for some of our fake snow. Now, obviously, we're still not ready to print this. Our bulb needs to be changed to the color white. And then we also need to make sure that we change everything to be a print. So let's start with Santa. And what you do is go up where it says no fill right here and just change that to print. And then you're going to go right here where you see your bulb. And you're going to change this to print. And it's going to look like it disappeared, but I promise it didn't. It just gets rid of the cut lines. So once everything is set to print, you're going to select both items and you are going to attach them. And then you are going to flatten them. Attach holds them together, and then flatten tells it that it's one piece. So when you go to cut it, it's not going to cut around your Santa Claus. So what we're going to do now is click Make It, and you'll see that it has our little Santa right here. So now we can go ahead and click on Continue, and you'll see that you have a couple of things. So you're going to be here where you select your printer. You can print more than one copy if you would like to, but I'm only going to print one. And this is where you can take away the bleed or add the bleed. On this, we don't need the bleed, so you can just turn it off. It's totally fine. And we are going to click on Print. I'm going to take you guys over to the printer before we hit print so that I can show you how to load your transparency film.
This is the transparency film that I'm using, and this is 4 inkjet printers. I will link this below. I've used this for a couple years, and I really, really like it. It's a nice quality film. One thing that a lot of people are complaining about is that their colors are not coming across really vibrant, and there's a couple reasons for that. One is you're printing on the wrong side, and 2 is that you have purchased the wrong type of transparency film, and then 3 is your printer settings. So you want your printer set to the highest printer setting. Now, there are 2 sides to this, and it's super hard to tell on film, but this side is rough, and this side is smooth. So you're going to want to print to the rough side, and you are going to just load it into your printer. So you'll need to know which way your printer takes the paper. I'm going to go right back over to my screen really quick, and I'm going to click on Print while we talk about this. So with your printer settings, you are going to want to make sure that you have it set to the highest printer setting. So it's going to go ahead and print this out, and you will see how nice and deep and dark our color is compared to some people who sit there and say that their color comes out super blotchy. Look at how rich that color is. It's really nice. Super dark, really, really good looking color. Now, the one thing is that some of the transparency films, if you touch them, they're not instant dry. This one is an instant dry, so when you go to touch it, it's not going to get on your hand. I wouldn't recommend like running your hand over it regardless, but these are instant dry, which is really nice. So let's get this loaded into the machine so I can show you guys how it cuts.
We need to make sure that we do select the correct material to cut on, and this is transparency, and it cuts beautifully on that setting. So on your Explorer, make sure you have your Explorer set to custom, and on your Maker, you're going to get this screen, and we're going to hit Browse All Materials, and you just need to search for transparency, and you don't even have to type in all the letters. And you'll see right here where it says transparency, select that, and click Done. Then you can load your machine.
Once you've selected your materials and you load it into your machine, make sure that you have your grid lines up to the top, your registration marks, and You may have issues with this on the Explorer machine because it's really only meant to cut on white paper. There are ways around it. You can tape white paper behind the registration marks, or you can use some Scotch tape and see if you can get it to read your registration marks. That way, I haven't had any issues. I keep it pretty dark in the corner that my maker is in, and that seems to help some with any of those issues with it not reading your registration marks. But you see the light turns on, and sometimes that overly shiny can kind of mess with the registration marks. Now, if this is like an ongoing issue with your machine, make sure you contact Cricut, because occasionally they have their sensors go bad, and if it's still under warranty, they will send you a new machine. I haven't had any issues with it not reading my registration marks, but again, this is something that's happened to a lot of people, so just keep that in mind. Now what it's doing is it's going to check our tool, and it's going to go ahead and cut out our design. Now, like I said, it's only going to cut out the bulb, and it won't cut out the whole thing. It's not going to cut out all the individual pieces. It's just going to cut out the bulb, which is all we need. Super easy, really simple, cuts very, very beautifully. Let's unload it, and I'll take it off really quick so you guys can see. So we'll pull the transparency off. Again, this isn't like a super sticky green mat, so it's super easy to get stuff off of. So there's our, you can see the bulb kind of shining in the light. So we'll pull this off, and then we can get it loaded into our bulb. This is like one of my favorite little tricks for a really fun and different Christmas ornament, and they're super easy to make. And what I love about doing just a picture is you see that it looks normal no matter which way you turn it, so unlike words where they would look backwards. So let's get this, and we'll get it loaded into our bulb. So we're going to use a spray paint can lid just to hold our bulb up and straight so that it doesn't spill, because there is some fake snow in there, and it'll just make it easier to do this. So we're going to take our transparency film and drop it, and what we're going to do is what I call like a burrito roll. So you're just going to roll it, and you don't want to make like too tight because you don't want to crease it. So it's just like a little burrito roll, and you're just going to squish it in here. And again, don't do it too tight because you don't want it to crease, and then you just let it go. And you'll see that it's still kind of curled, and that's okay. You're just going to want to mess with it a little bit, and I use my finger, and I just press it so that it sits flat. Now, I do have fake snow in this one. I already put the fake snow in, so I may need to like move it around a little bit, lift it up, and kind of separate where that snow is, because there's a little too much on one side, so you can just kind of shake it around. I just used this one previously for another craft, and so I had that fake snow that was already in there. So you just might need to mess with it a little bit. Tap your snow around. So there is your finished bulb. It came out really cute. This is super easy to do, and you can see the transparency like when you turn it that way, but really this way you can't. And now this is one of the plastic bulbs, so I would recommend making sure that your transparency lines up with the seams that are on the bulb, because there are seams in your bulb and you just don't want it to look kind of funky. And if you need to move it around a little, you totally can, but remember that you can use your finger to kind of squeeze it and move it and shift it where it needs to go. But there is your bulb. So you can see it from the side here. You can see where the transparency sits. And then from the front, you've got this cute little Santa. So I'll put our top back on. You just got to pop it right back on, and it'll hold your transparency nice and straight. And look at that. It's so cute. I love how this came out. And you can shake your snow around. Because the snow's kind of staticky, it loves to stick to this transparency film, and it makes it really pretty. So you can shake it around a little bit. And I use the static to kind of help it. And you can see if hopefully it'll clear up and focus. Come on. You can see that it's stuck to there a little bit, so it makes it look a little bit more like it's snowing. I just love how this came out. I think it came out really cute. It's super easy to do, and honestly really inexpensive. If you guys have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'm always happy to answer those for you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos on Wednesdays and Saturdays with the occasional bonus live video. Make sure you join my Facebook group. We have a lot of fun over there. We're doing some cool games. We're going to check out everybody's crafts. It's just a lot of fun. It's a great way to get to know each other, and I absolutely love getting to know you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and happy crafting.